Hello, I'm John Veneri. Welcome to another edition of Your Questions Answered with Father Gruner. This is a program where we take your questions and Father Gruner answers them. We have discussions about them. Please continue to send us your questions and your comments at the email that you see at the bottom of your screen, questions@thefatimacenter.com. We have a question today from someone who visited Fatima, and they were given Fatima holy water, and Fatima water, I guess it's called, from the fountain there. And he says, a friend told me that I can dilute or top up a bottle of Fatima water as it empties, and as long as there is still water in the bottle, it will remain as Fatima water. 2 questions, is this true? Second question, if true, please cite the source.
Well, I've never heard that about Fatima water, but at the same time, there's been there's a principle in, well, first of all, St. Thomas talks about if you put water in your wine, then, so that's how, in fact, you purify the chalice. You put enough water in the wine that it's no longer wine anymore. But then St. Thomas asks the question, what if you put some wine back in that? So if you have, let's say,
you mean consecrated wine?
Well, either any kind of wine.
Okay.
He's talking about the fact that wine, when you put enough water in it, is no longer wine, but it's water.
Yes.
But in turn, I'm sure you can find this out yourself. If after you've done that, so let's just say you have 2 ounces of wine, you put 2 ounces of water in there. Is that dilute enough? And put 3 ounces, 4 ounces, whatever it takes. It's no longer wine; it's water. But then if you take that same mixture, that solution, if you want, it's really turned to water, what St. Thomas say. But then if you put some wine back into it, of course, it doesn't require as much wine to make it go back into wine again. Okay, but the point being that it's by diluting it, it's still, by diluting something a little bit, if you put a drop of wine in the water or in the wine, it's still wine. But if you put 2 drops, it's still wine. But at a certain point, it's no longer wine. Mm-hmm. I think the same principle holds here, that if you put too much, if you put another drop of water, in other words, that water, that drops you put in with all the Fatima water, the ordinary tap water you put in there, not that I've ever done this, I've been accused of doing this some time ago, but never did it. But anyway, if you put a drop in, it's still going to be Fatima water. But if you have a drop of, let's say you have a cup of Fatima water and you have 10 gallons of ordinary water, you can't say anymore that there's a drop of Fatima water in the glass you take or something like that, because but if you only put a drop of ordinary water into mostly Fatima water, then you can be sure there's still Fatima water by and large there. Somewhere in there there's a drop. Anyway, I would not recommend doing this ad infinitum. And I don't think that I frankly have never done it, but I've heard people say things like that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. I mean, you've been to Fatima many times, and have you ever heard this from any source that you would recognize as
I've only heard about things
authoritative,
like Fatima, like let's say holy water. Mm-hmm. If you have holy water, and it takes to make holy water, if you do it properly, it takes about 5 minutes to make. That is, you have to bless the water. You have to bless the salt first, then you bless the water, then you mix the salt, the blessed water with the blessed salt, and then you still say another prayer after that. It takes a few minutes to do that. But if you have holy water and you're running out of holy water, but let's say you have, I don't know, say 5 ounces of holy water, and you only need a little bit more or something like that, people have put in half an ounce or something like that. Mm-hmm. As long as the majority of it is still holy water, it's not that changes the rest of it. It's just that by diluting it, your holy water that you do have in there goes further, that's all. So when you sprinkle around, if you sprinkle 50 drops, well, 5 drops of those 50 drops will not be holy water, and 45 will still be holy water. But the devil knows which ones are. And the devil I can tell you, when during exorcism, if you use plain water and you think it's holy water, he'll comment on it. Says, well, you go and wash yourself in that stuff. He says, don't bother me with that.
As far as Fatima water, what is the? We have to do this quickly, but since we're on the topic, what is the history of Fatima water, and what's the spiritual benefit of it? Why should people? Why do people take Fatima water?
Well, Fatima water has been known to cure people. From all sorts of diseases. It's many people, of course, know of Lourdes water. Lourdes is more famous. Our Lady told the visionary, Saint Bernadette, to dig a hole, and the water came out. And it's been certainly better known, more famous. But Fatima water has worked miracles as well. And its origin is at the place of the apparitions. It's at the cove, or the deepest point of the cove, and about 10 or 15 yards somewhere, the children saw Our Lady, and Our Lady did this sort of, so to speak, after the apparitions, that because so many people came, and the bishop wanted, so the bishop ordered a well to be dug. They couldn't dig any. They tried to dig. They couldn't find any water there, and so finally they blasted some. This is the workman now talking about it. You can find the description of it in Prayer Michel. We've published it over and over again, and I'm sure we gave them a little copy of this. It's about 2 pages long, of the man who blasted the well, and he didn't think he succeeded, but he came back to it afterwards and he found that there was water there.
Mm-hmm.
And so people came and took the water, and then they washed themselves in it and started working miracles.
Mm-hmm.
So ever since then, it's been connected to the apparition site.
Because I've seen them at Fatima. I've seen them there. There's a little spout.
Yes. Well, now it's of course hooked up to a pump
like
and
a
all
fountain,
that.
yes.
And a fountain. But yes, you can get it yourself. Anyone can go up there and turn on the fountain. And we send out Fatima water to people from all over the world.
So people can write to you and ask for the Fatima water.
Yeah, we send people over there and bring it back, and it's a big hassle getting on the planes and everything else. But
yes,
but it's
I'm sure.
I still remember one of my TV men who was he was upset we were going to miss our plane. So I said, "You go ahead." And so I caught up to him at the plane and stood in line. But so when somebody suggested I was taking this water from our taps, he said, "If you want, I'll go in front of a camera and tell them what happened. I know I was there. I when you brought it back."
Yeah. So these things, these little helps that Our Lady gives us through the Rosary, through Fatima water, are things that we should really be, to use the term, taking advantage of for our spiritual benefit. So that's all for today's program, and we will see you next time.